Okay, everybody, thanks for coming back for part 2 of the built-in sales marketing list. So the Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise and Sales Pro licenses have a built-in feature for marketing lists, and Brynn was showing us a lot of the features in the last video. Check that out if you want to go see some of the basic setup stuff. And today we're going to look at what it looks like to see the activities that were built from the quick campaign, and we're also going to cover how to build a more full campaign. Sound good, Brynn?
Sounds good to me.
All right, cool. So last we left off, we had created that task, that quick campaign to follow up about our new product launch. So within here, you said we can look at the activities.
Yes, so we can. Let's take a look. Do you want to take a look first at what the activities are going to look like on the user side, and then we can come back and check out the campaign
Yeah,
end?
that sounds great. So like we can see like what each customer account manager or salesperson is going to see on their activity schedule.
Yes, so we can see we've had
Perfect.
22 different phone calls created. So they're not all going to be assigned to me because if you remember, we assigned them to whoever the current contact owner, the account manager basically is for each. So I won't have all 22 of these, but I'll have a couple. It's going to expand our navigation pane here on the left. And I'm going to go straight to my activities.
Perfect.
And I am actually going to go, we know that we created a phone call, so I actually have a view for my phone calls. I'm going to open up. Just take a look here. And perfect. So we can see right up here at the top, I have my due date. We talked about this in the last video as well. My most recent up here at the top, what's due upcoming next. And we can see we've got our follow-up on new product launch email task created. And we can see who I am making these phone calls to here along on the left. And let's say I just wanted to quickly jump into one of these. Let me open up Cecilia here. And if I select this little record set up here at the top, it's actually going to pull up a list here on the left-hand side that'll show me each one of those records that I just had open on my activities view. So I can kind of just click through and see all of the information. I'm still going to just leave it open on Cecilia for now, but I can see all of my task details. So all of my phone call tasks that I created with my marketing list in the last video. You can see we've got my subject, which is the subject I entered here. We talked about giving this a really nice description so that people can easily see what it is that we need them to do on this phone call. I've even got my phone number information listed. So if I have a dialer integrated, I can go ahead and just call that number from here. If I'm on the mobile app as well, I can make that phone call just by hitting this little phone number icon and record the details of my phone call. So it's all set up here. When I'm done with Cecilia, I can either just choose to mark complete up here at the top. And it's going to move me right on to the next one in the list. So you can see I'm here with Mortimer next. Yeah, Mortimer. Yeah, one of the nice things that you can also do is let's say Mortimer is unfamiliar to me or it's been a while, right, since I connected with Mortimer. I can go ahead and actually open the full contact record, not just my activity, but the entire contact record. I'm going to go to the timeline. So the timeline on our system is actually separated out into its very own tab. So I can really see a big, nice, long list of our contact history here. But before I make my phone call, maybe I want to come in here and just kind of refresh myself on what's been going on. So I can see I've got some different tasks that I've set up, some different email communications back and forth. If there was a case history of any service incidents or anything that Mortimer had, I can really refresh myself here on kind of what's going on with the account or with the contact before I reach out, just so I've got that information. And you can see right up here at the top, there's my task again. So I can see it right here on the contact record as well. I've got the same description here, the same title, all the same information. I could choose to open up this whole record here, take me right back to my full activity view here, or even just back on my contact record. I don't even have to leave the contact record. I can just hit complete from here. So I went ahead, I made my phone call. It's going to give me a quick dropout. Did I make the phone call? Was it completed or was it canceled for some reason? I'm just going to say it was completed. It was made. I made the phone call. I can close that. And it's going to be the exact same process as it was in the actual full activity. So I can see here, it's actually been completed. My task is closed. Pay no attention to the fact that I have some overdue tasks down here at the bottom, but I can see.
We all have overdue tasks. I'm not judging.
Yeah, I got around to it. So I can actually, let's go ahead and complete that one here as well. Close my task. just to keep up to date on my friend Mortimer. And that's that. So now if I were to go back to my activities views, let me just back up here. The phone call record, you can see right up here at the top, I get this notification that record is completed. So it's going to show me no matter where I am in the system that I have made that phone call. And I can just go right on to the next, to my friend Tara, and start that process over again.
I think it's really cool because, well, for a lot of reasons, but a lot of people just need the ability to help organize their teams and get certain things done, that the corporate goal, that match corporate goals, like if they're trying to penetrate a new geographic region or launch a new product line or invite people to a trade show or something like that. This just makes it really easy for your account managers to get that activity list and just knock tasks off one after another.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the reasons that I love this kind of left hand. I call it the notes pan. It's not really, but it's a nice little list just to keep you kind of organized. I could go through, I could make 10 of these phone calls in a day. I could make 100, but either way, it's really nice not to have to just dig into each individual account record, open up the contact, add the activity, complete the activity, go through. This is making it a lot quicker for me to kind of get through. Maybe I can only make 3 phone calls today. I can make 5 tomorrow. It's really easy for me to just kind of jump in, make the most of my time, and then continue with all the other tasks that I have going on for today.
And you mentioned briefly if people had an integrated dialer. We just did a video with Jason a couple weeks back that talks about how to integrate Dynamics with Microsoft Teams dialer. So for anybody that's interested in looking at something like that, it's really slick. You'll be impressed with it. So go check out that video too. So this is from the personal activity view. You showed it on the record as well, the contact record.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said earlier in the last call that you could also see it at the marketing list level. So you can see all the activities, whether they've been completed or not. Can you show us that?
Yes, you see right down here at the bottom, even on my individual activity view, I can see what this is regarding. So I've got my regarding is our campaign. So our quick campaign, I can open up that follow-up task. It's going to take me right back to this record. Should look pretty familiar by now. But you can see here that I have all of the records. It's another timeline. So it's not the contact timeline that I'm looking at. It's the actual timeline for all of these different activities. So I can see over here on the right, this is everyone. It's all 22 people, all 22 contacts that we were assigning this task to. I could open up those individual records and kind of go through one by one. But I can also see here right on my timeline, the status of all of these phone calls. So I clearly have been hard at work closing all of my phone call activities, close. But as I scroll, well, Gordon and Peter, not so much.
I've been busy recording videos for our customers. What can I say?
It's no excuse. It was last modified. This task was assigned over 8 minutes ago. So really, you want to make sure that you're more on top of things than Peter. But I could hypothetically, right, if I were in this summary tab, just like we just walked through on the contact table, on the contact record, I could complete these activities right from here. So I could see every single phone call that's been assigned to this list, and I could just, Gordon's out of the office. I'm going to run through and just complete some of these for him. I made that phone call. It's complete. It's going to refresh right here.
I guess in reality, I don't really see a real use case for that, except for maybe if there's a sales and marketing coordinator who does these things and actually, so they schedule them, but they also do the calls for the account managers. Because typically I would think account managers would want to make their own calls. But I think the cool thing is there's versatility. So you can set it up the way that you and your business want to operate.
Exactly. And I can see everything that's still open. So I can see all the tasks are still open. I can see what's closed. There's also a responses tab over here on the left that will show us, and we didn't necessarily walk through this, but you can also add in campaign responses. So if we had a follow-up from any of these phone calls, maybe we created a lead, I can add some different campaign responses directly here, which is going to help me kind of organize my ROI a bit.
That's crazy. So crazy good, I mean. So,
yeah.
So if you're calling people and they say not interested,
yes.
Or if they say, well, could you send me the brochure or could you send me some pricing information? You could put those responses in there, and then that could probably trigger some additional automation that like sends out the email with the brochure or sends out the email with the pricing information.
Yes, you can do a whole lot with it. I'll say that this is, don't want to say most useful, but it's very useful when you're doing those long form campaigns that I know we're going to talk about in another video. For things like these quick tasks, quick email blasts, still good. But typically when you're investing a lot of your like time and resources into those more long-term or more multi-step marketing campaigns, these are really nice to have because you can track a whole lot of information in here. This is just the sort of standard form for campaign responses that comes with Dynamics. You can customize all of these forms though. So if there are specific goals that you're looking to achieve, if there's specific answers that you're looking feedback to get from customers, or leads or different contexts in the system, you can really do a lot with this form to kind of discuss what kind of data you want to capture from a campaign, what that looks like, and what the next steps are after we gather this information. So is it another follow-up? Is it an opportunity?
Sorry to cut you off. I
Yeah,
was
go
just gonna
ahead.
say this stuff is just so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder how many of our customers actually know all these great features. I think, obviously, the point of these videos is to like get this information out to our customers. And if you're out there using Dynamics and you're not using these features, give us a call. But this stuff is really amazing. What Microsoft allows us all to do with like a very simple motion, small business budget, you can do so much automation, so much streamlining to get the word out and get responses back and automate your entire like processes around outreach, whether it's account management or pure marketing. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
fan. I'm a fanboy, Brynn. What can I
yeah,
say?
me too. I'm a total fan. I think it's really cool too. We'll talk more obviously about like the customer insights journey stuff and the actual like marketing app for Dynamics as well. But I think like considering that the focus of this app is sales, right? Like you actually do have a ton of great tools for not just sales outreach, but also marketing and to kind of take the burden off of your sales team a bit or give them some more automation and flexibility when it comes to reaching out, to kind of pushing leads, to getting, their foot in the door. This is a really great tool that I don't think probably most people are taking advantage of. And it's native to the system. So if you already have it, it's a great option to kind of make use of some of these tools that, might be a little dusty for disuse.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
if you wouldn't mind, let's go back to the marketing list, and I'd like you to explain campaigns on this video too. So
Mm-hmm.
like just how do the campaigns with this built-in marketing lists from the built into the Dynamics 365 sales module, how does the full campaign work? So we saw a quick campaign, which is essentially just one-off activities that you're going to run. But
Mm-hmm.
what's a full campaign? How do you set one up?
So full campaigns, we're going to start again with the marketing list because we have this list created right up here at the top. Very simple. You can see we've got new campaign listed. You also incidentally will see when you have these set up campaigns and quick campaigns also in that left-hand navigation pane. So you could start there and then either create your marketing list or select a marketing list from there. Typically, I like to just start with the marketing list because I know who I'm contacting, because I know who I'm reaching out to. I've got my list created.
Yeah.
I'm going to say new campaign right up here at the top. It's going to be very similar to how we set up a quick campaign. So it's going to give me this first page of kind of default information that I want to enter, which was similar to our marketing list. So if I say this is maybe like a summer product release or summer product promo, whatever I want to introduce here. I can also give this a campaign code. So this is a little bit like we talked about with naming conventions and how it makes it easier to kind of find things in the future, refer back to them, share them between teams. Campaign code, you can see it's a text field right now out of the box. I would talk about internally like what a campaign code looks like, but if I was going to say like all of my product promos are like promo 24, whatever naming convention I've talked about internally, I'm just going to give it a quick little campaign code. What currency am I working in? It's going to automatically fill in whatever my default is. And then what kind of campaign type am I working with? So this is, again, it's a standard Dynamics field. So it's going to give you a couple of options, which are pretty good. Advertisement, direct marketing, is an event, is it some co-branding or other. This also is a customizable field. So if I had other types of campaigns that I wanted to add in here, I could just go into backend, or I could have my system administrator go into the backend and I'm kind of tweak this to best fit my needs. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is an advertisement. Yeah, go right ahead. Please do.
Do those drive any functionality, or are they just used for reporting and classification?
They're just used for reporting and classification standard. I'll say it's kind of an asterisk question because you absolutely could use this campaign type, right, to put together automations. You could set off Power Automate flows. There's a lot that you could do with these out of the box. But it's just sort of giving you a baseline of how do I want to organize my campaign for the most
That
part.
makes sense. And to your point, like if you don't ever run events, you could just
Yeah.
have someone remove that so that's not even an option for people to select.
Yeah, exactly. Some I've seen like influencer, co-branding kind of stuff in here. So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody.
Okay, perfect.
I can also put in an expected response percentage, which is it's basically you're setting a goal, right? For how many responses do I want to get back if I send out 100, if I get 100 campaign, whatever that timeline is. So activities, different emails, things like that. How many responses do I want to get back? I'm going to say 75. I've got high goals. And then you can see a lot of this is grayed out for the time being. When I hit save here, I'm going to get a lot more options. It wants to create the record, right, before it can necessarily attach anything to it. You can tell right up at the top, now that it doesn't say new campaign anymore, it says actual summer product promo. And then I've got over here on the right some information about my marketing list that I'm using. So it's pulling in my current Microsoft customers, any leads that are going to be associated with this, and my campaign activities. So it's filled in a lot. I've also got a timeline for this specific campaign as well, which is really nice to have all of your different activities, any tasks that you're organizing. So let's say we need to decide on a promo. Like, what is the actual promo that we're running for this product promo? I could create a task for, yeah, go right ahead.
If I was going to summarize what a campaign is, it's essentially a series of activities that I want to execute in furtherance of a goal. That's a really weird word, furtherance.
Yeah.
But, around a goal. So let's say this summer product promo, I might want to drop some postcards in the mail. I might want to have my account managers call. I might want to send out an email. Then I might want to do another snail mail blast. Like, is that essentially what campaigns are? Is a series of one-off activities?
Yes. So if you think back to like our quick campaign when we were talking about just like, well, if we're going to send a single email blast, if we're going to create a single phone call activity for all of our account managers to kind of follow up on with their customers, a campaign is just stringing together multiple activities. So we can say there's an activity component. Maybe it's just 5 different emails or an email a month for 3 months for this summer promo campaign. It can have other components as well, but really anytime that you're looking beyond like a single one-off activity or single one-off push, it's nice to have a campaign. And also it does give you a lot more information on reporting. So even if you just wanted to do like a single quick campaign, you could use the campaign feature just to have some more information about what it is and what kind of responses that we're getting, if there's any leads generated, that sort of thing as well.
So since you brought it up with the emails, we didn't really talk about this with the quick campaigns, but so Dynamics isn't an email engine, right? So I know a lot of our customers will use MailChimp, and we've obviously got our MailChimp integration, our Constant Contact. We've got a Constant Contact integration, shameless plugs, by the way.
Yeah.
But you can actually use quick campaigns and also full campaigns to schedule emails. So that will work just with your Exchange server, or like you don't need like a Constant Contact to do that.
No, you don't. So it'll work with your Exchange server as long as you have the Outlook integration set up, which I think we have another video on also. If we don't, we should make one. As long as you have your Outlook integration set up, it will use your Exchange server. It sends them in batches. So it's not sending 100 emails at once. I think it's sending like 20, 25 so that it's not going to overload your Exchange server or get you marked as spam or anything like that.
Smart.
Yeah, so that's always helpful. The other thing that we really did not touch on as well is that with these marketing lists, I'm actually go back if that's okay.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to go back to our marketing list. The other thing that you're able to do is, you mentioned Constant Contact, MailChimp, things like that. If you are using those third-party or those other-party marketing engines to send emails out, something that you can do here is, let's say that I create my list of all of my current Microsoft customers, and I want to use this list in MailChimp or in another email marketing manager. I can actually go right up here to the top and export this list as an Excel doc.
And then import it into the other tool.
And then import it right in. So that is very nice. It will not, there's one sort of asterisk. It's that if you're working with a dynamic list, obviously it's not going to be able to continuously update in MailChimp as it is in Dynamics. So it's exporting everything as a static list. So a snapshot of this list at this moment in time You could upload that right to MailChimp, send out your mailing, use your campaigns in there as you typically do. But you've got all of the information from Dynamics to be able to do that with.
That makes sense. And it sounds like if anybody watching this has those situations
Yeah.
where you're using a separate email tool, you might want to give us a call just to talk about options and, how the best way to connect the two products are. But it sounds like there are several different ways to connect it. Or if you just want to do a simple email, you can just do it right within Dynamics and use your Exchange server as long as your Outlook integration's configured properly.
Yes, exactly. Again, it'll be a little bit different for everybody, but in order of ease, I think it's definitely very easy to just kind of send the email from Dynamics. Also, an integration is nice because you've got that information in Dynamics, stored in Dynamics, so that we can see that there have been emails that have gone out. But if you do need to kind of export the list and use it in other areas, it is an option as well. So you can kind of it on all bases. You've got the information that you need.
Yeah, it's like one of the best things I always tell prospects about Dynamics is it's got a lot of flexibility to do things the way you want to do them. One reason why people will tell me that they want to keep using their separate email engines is because of the better reporting analytics. I know this will give you some of that analytics as far as email deliveries and things like that, but it's like those specific emailers, they have a lot of reporting. So you get a little bit, I think, richer experience there as far as reporting analytics.
We'll also see that a lot with the D365 Customer Insights Journeys marketing app as well. There's a lot more reporting information that kind of goes on there. But you do have a lot of kind of flexibility in terms of just sending from here. And also something nice to think about is that you can do things in phases. So if I want to be using MailChimp or another mail service as a phase 1 and then look into other options, you don't have to do everything all at once. It doesn't have to be done tomorrow. Right? We can kind of break things down in different phases as well.
I think it goes to our crawl, walk, run strategy. So it's good that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Start simple and build upon it. That's just the beauty of Dynamics. One of the many beautiful things about Dynamics. So did we want to show anything more with the campaigns, or do you feel like we've given people enough information? Did you want to show anything else?
Let's take a quick look. Maybe one thing I did want to note is that when we came back here into our marketing list, right, is that now our campaign, which is still in the proposed, it's not an active campaign at all yet. We can see that now listed here in my campaigns. If anybody else were to pull up this marketing list, we can see the quick campaign that's already been completed. We can see we've got at least one campaign kind of in the pipeline that we're working on. So another benefit to making sure that we're all using the same list. And then, this is all pretty, I think, intuitive. It'll obviously be a little bit different for everybody when you're creating these campaigns, but it will show you any related leads that come from this campaign. So if we're getting actual leads back from sending out mailers or, different things, and also your campaign activities. So this is where we were talking about, if it's not just a single email, if it's an email and a task and a follow-up or an appointment, and we actually get on the phone, get on a call with the customer, all of those are going to be captured here in our timeline so that we can, interact and engage with our customers and keep a nice trail of all that information on the campaign level as well. Yeah, if there's anything else.
Oh, I was going to say, it seems to me like if you're going to do even 2 distinct activities around a common goal, you should just create a campaign.
Yes.
It didn't seem like it was that much.
No.
So if I wanted to let everyone know about a very important release that Microsoft just put out, and I'm going to send an email, and then I'm going to have my account managers call customers, just create a quick campaign for it, and then just put those 2 activities in there, because then all your timeline will be in one spot, so you can see if all the activities are done for each of the customers.
Yes.
I think it just makes a lot of sense. And if you're just going to do it truly is a one-off, then a quick campaign is perfectly valid and very efficient way of doing things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then the other thing I like to mention too is that the timeline here is great because I can jump in and see what's going on with my summer product promo. And I can just kind of review where it's at with all of my different contacts, whoever I send out the materials to. But I also, when I'm pulling up a specific account, or if I'm pulling up a specific contact, I can see that I've been in contact with them, or somebody on my sales team has been in contact with them about this summer product promo that we're working. So it's going to roll up to those tables as well. So I don't have to necessarily come here and check out my campaign to know who I've talked to and what. But if I'm just in an account, say I'm talking to David from ABC Company, I can see right in the timeline, well, Carly reached out to him last week about this product promo, or Peter has, sent an email in the last couple of weeks about a product promo. So I know that I have that information so that if I speak to David on the phone, I've got that whole life cycle of what's been going on. And, I don't have to tell him. I can kind of follow up on those items because I have that knowledge. And it's a really nice experience then on the customer side to feel like I know what's going on and that we've kind of had those conversations and that data saved internally.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of companies, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing.
Yeah.
And so like this just brings it all together. It's the whole, like the fundamental purpose of CRM is to have everything that's important in one spot. So whoever needs it can get to it when they need it. And like this is just an extension of that general purpose of CRM. So
Yeah.
I really dig this. This was really eye-opening. I know there's a lot more to this and there's a lot of best practices that, customers can talk about, but hopefully this was informative to those of you who are watching this. And if you have questions, just give us a call, put a comment down below. We're always looking for content for new videos. So if you have questions or thoughts or comments or stuff that you want to see, just let us know. We'll be there for you. Brynn, I have to say, this was awesome. Thank you very much. You're doing this just amazing. You're doing the work of the blessed. So,
Yes. Wow. Thanks so much. Yeah. We'll see when we get into customer insights journeys how much that holds true. But
well,
fingers crossed.
So for those of you who want to, we're going to be doing another couple of videos coming up about the full marketing. Because remember, this was just like a kind of a teaser bit of marketing built into the sales module. But there's a full marketing module that is just crazy with what you can do with it. It's a very robust and feature-rich product. And we're going to get into that in the coming weeks as well. So stay tuned, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks, y'all.